Alright guys, welcome. New solo leveling or rise video. I hope everyone's doing okay. And today I'm going to give you guys my complete skill guide. I'll go over each and every skill and let you guys know which one you should run and which one you shouldn't. I should be releasing the Blessing Stone guide tomorrow or the day after, so stay tuned for that as well. And as always, if you enjoy my videos and wish to support me, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Let's get those 2,000 subs. Thanks a lot for the support. Let's get into it. So first, what are those skills? There's 11 of them. Each of them have 4 variants with their runes. The runes, you have to get them separately. I'll show that right after. So the skills, you can use up to 2 on your Jinwoo. They're gonna help you with your fights, right? Each skill has, like I said, 4 variants. How do you get those variants? It's through the fusion tab. So the fusion tab, you can either fuse kill runes. You'll get blue ones, right? So you have a chance to get the purple ones, but you'll get blue ones most of the time. You can get those for 100 fragments, right? It's random, and 100 fragments give you 1 skill rune. Once you have 3 blue dupes, it only works with dupes, right? Once you get 3 of those dupes, you can fuse them together and have a chance to get purple one. And if you have 3 dupes of the purple ones, you have a chance to fuse them into a yellow one, right? The legendary ones. How do you get those fragments? There's a couple places you can get them. You can get them in gates. It's not a lot, but you can still get them. In Battlefield of Time challenge, in the time rewards or in the completion rewards, you can get some. In the achievements as well, there's a couple achievements that give those. In the challenges, of course, all the chapters of the challenges, at some point you'll get some. And finally, in the story, you get a lot in the story at some point, I feel like. So there's quite a lot of places you can get them, like it's not too rare. They're pretty generous on that one, so it's something. So like I said, a total of 11 skills with 5 variants, like the base one and then the 4 runes. 3 different rarities for the runes, epic, legendaries, and also rare, the blue ones. Obviously, legendary runes will increase the damage it deals, but also will increase the effect. This one, when it's blue, it's plus 45%, I think, and there it's 100%. So the question everyone is asking is, which are the best skills? And it depends on the scenario, in my opinion. If there's a lot of minions, for example, you want to go with Commander's Touch. The best runes for it are Black Hole, that one, and Absorption. Black Hole is by far the best, but Absorption does the job just fine if you only have that one. The other 2, I wouldn't run them. They're kind of counterproductive in my opinion. So if you don't have either Black Hole or Absorption, I would just run the base one, right? You can just unequip a rune if you don't want it. Then let's say the enemy has a huge break bar, or just you need to break the enemy. There's quite a lot of them that are pretty cool. Armor Break, the brand new skill, is clutch. It's so good. It has 4 different variants, 4 different elements. All 4 are really good. I run all 4. And yeah, the fire one gives you extra critical hit damage, so it's pretty cool. The light one gives you extra defense, so that's kind of cool, and you're also invincible while using the skill. The fact that some skill make you invincible is super good. The worst one is probably that one, because it doesn't do that much, but still the damage are decent and it still breaks a lot. Almighty Break. And the water one freezes, so it's pretty decent. On top of that, you can also use Death Dance. Same here, all 4 are really good. Special mention for Earth Shock, the light one, which resets Commander's Touch passive and also gives you extra crit damage. That one was given for free in purple rarity, right? So it was given for free, the epic one. And lastly, third one I would use if I wanted to break the boss would be Multi-Strike. The dark one and the light one are the best. Sorry, dark one and light one, those 2. Light one can be used up to 2 times, if I recall correctly. The dark one makes you invincible as well. So yeah, those 2 are really good. The other 2, I wouldn't recommend running them. I would just run another one. The damage aren't great and the break is decent but not crazy. And finally, if you just want to go for damage, right? Like sometimes the boss, for example, doesn't have a break bar and there's no really a lot of minions. You just want to do as much damage as you can. For those, I would recommend Vital Strike Honin. By far one of the best hitting skills. Huge damage multiplier and also extra 75% damage on the bosses and elite monsters. Secondly, we have the Vertical Arts Crosshairs. Same here, damage dealt to bosses and elite monsters increased by 75%. The damage seems to be not so good, but it's actually really, really good. And finally, it's not pure damage, but it kind of works towards that, is Cutting Rush Effulgence. The damage are decent, but not crazy, but it gives you extra critical hit damage. 30%, and you can use it twice. When this skill hits, resets cooldowns. You can use it twice in a row and get 60% more crit damage, so this one is really huge. damage. Like if you want to go more of a boosting Jinwoo type of thing, it's really, really good. Lastly, I could mention Mutilated Stroke of Lightning. It's not too bad for damage, the multiplier is pretty good, and there's a 30% chance of the Haunter ignoring 100% of the target's defense, so sometimes you're gonna do great damage, and sometimes it's gonna be not so great, so I don't really like that one. My favorites are for sure Honin and Effulgence, for sure. I feel like it's important to note that you don't necessarily need to go for type advantage runes, but it helps doing damage, obviously, in the fight, right? So let's say you're against a fire boss, going for vertical arts, which is a fire skill, is obviously going to help you. But choose your skills wisely, depending on the stage, so it can help you a lot beating it. I feel like I should mention the best skills for the dragon, since it's a bit of another thing, right? So for me, there's two ways. Either you go for one pure damage skill and one break skill, or you go for one buff skill and one break skill. I recommend always having one break skill to break the golem that spawns around the 2-minute mark, right? Then the second one you can either go for damage or a rune that boosts you. So I'm gonna show you guys the combos I use for each type. So for the wind dragon, I use Death Dance high speed rotation, so the wind one, and with that I use either Honin, right? Or Effulgence. Either I go for damage, either I go to boost myself. For the fire one, the first one I'm gonna use is obviously Vertical Arts Crosshairs for extra damage, and then the second one I'm gonna use is the brand new skill, the Armor Break Decimation for Almighty Break and also a boost in critical hit damage by 50%, which is huge. For the Water Dragon, gonna use the new Armor Break Iceberg for the Golem, Almighty Break again, pretty good. And for the second one, it's gonna be again Honin or Effulgence depending on what I want to run. For the light one, it's gonna be Death Dance Earth Shock, right, for the extra critical hit damage, but also for the heavy break. And with that, I'm gonna run either Honin or Effulgence again. You could run the light armor break. It's not too bad, honestly. Of course, for the others, if you don't have the ones I'm mentioning, you can also like switch up. For the light one, you can use the multi-strike. It's not bad. For the dark one, I'm gonna go on it afterwards, but you could use the multi-strike dark. It's not bad at all. For the dark one, I use Death Dance Eruption, since it's heavy break and also damage on the bosses and elite monsters increased by 75%. And with that, I usually use, like I said, Effulgence or Honin. You guys probably realized I don't really talk about those three skills here, which are Double Slash, Crushing Blow, and Dagger Toss. I feel like they're all pretty weak, like every one is pretty weak. The only one that could be mentioned is Dagger Toss. Electric Shock deals like DOT damage, but it's not great, and like the others are pretty bad. Crushing Blow is probably one of the worst alongside Double Slash, in my opinion at least. Like I tried them all a lot, and those are the ones I have like the worst result with. Lastly, for the neutral dragon, I usually use the fire armor break for the almighty break, and also the 50% critical hit damage increase. And then with that, I usually use Honin, like I said, or Effulgence. I want to mention again, don't underestimate the skills that give you invincibility, like the light armor break or the multi-strike shadow, right? Like the illusion, sorry. Those are really good. The fact that you become invincible is very strong and can be like life-saving, especially, for example, against Baruka in the gates or even in the story. His skill when he one-shots you, you just use one of those skills at the right moment and you just dodge it, right? It's really good and you can really use it to your advantage. And yeah, guys, that's it for the whole rune breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe like I said. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which should be the Blessing Stone guide. Thanks a lot for the support. See ya.